Hello YouTube, my name's Imogen and this is my second video. Tell by the title, today I'm going to be telling you my birth story. When I had my gorgeous little boy Noah, who has just woken up but looks very sleepy still, so let's hope he goes back to sleep. So I love telling my birth story. It was only 3 months ago, but it feels like forever ago. I love telling it. I get so excited. It was the best day of my life. I am so proud of myself for pushing a whole human out of me. It was amazing. It was the day I completely fell in love with someone. A love that you can't describe, that you just, it's the best feeling ever. So I'm not going to talk too much, I'll go straight into it. So when I first went into the doctors, to tell me I was pregnant, they told me my due date was the 8th of July 2016. Just by dates and, you know, your last period and all that sort of stuff. So the 8th of July 2016 is the day I had in my head. When we went for our 7 weeks, so I was 5 weeks when I found out. When we went for our 7.5 week scan, which is a dating scan, which I don't know if they do in any other countries, but in Australia, what I had, or at least up here where I live, we have a dating scan, a 12-week scan, which is optional, but we chose to do it just because I wanted to see him again. And then we have a 20-week scan. That's if you go public. If you go private, every single appointment you have a scan, which I would have loved, because I really wanted to see him after the 20 weeks. I feel like it was a really long time in between seeing him, but it was also a really nice surprise as well when we did see him. So anyway, we went for the 7-week scan. They told us his due date was the 9th of July 2016, so it's only 1 day difference. I always went by the 8th of July. My partner Derek always went by the 9th of July, and I knew that he was going to be born on the 9th because I said the 8th, which is true. He was born on the 9th. So it was the 8th of July. It was my due date according to me, not obviously by scans or by Derek. And I was like, okay, he's got to come today. Like, I was bouncing on my ball. I've been bouncing on my exercise ball for weeks beforehand. My whole maternity leave, I've been bouncing on the ball every day. I had been doing exercise, I've been relaxing, like doing all sorts of things they tell you to get the baby out. Star jumps, like literally, I was huge. I'll insert a picture of me on the 8th of July at 40 weeks. Not fat, I just had this really big belly. So doing anything, even talking, was, yes! Out of breath. So anyway, I was doing exercise, I was doing all I could. Derek's mum came over, I was doing her eyebrows. I'm a trained beauty therapist, so she bought me raspberry tea. Now I know you should probably start raspberry tea ages before because it's meant to like ripen your cervix or whatever, but what I'd read at the time had told me raspberry tea is going to induce your labour. So I was like freaking downing these cups of tea. I had about 3 or 4 cups of raspberry tea that day, and I swear by it. I say that's what got me into labour. Anyway, so it'd been all day and I sort of gone, gotten over the idea of having him. I thought, crap, I had an appointment, this was a Friday, and I had an appointment on the Monday the 11th to talk about induction. Because they thought he was so big because of my belly, which turned out to be because the placenta was at the front, but because they thought he was so big, they wanted to get him out sooner rather than later if I didn't come on my due date. So Friday had come and it was about 7 o'clock at night at this point. Derek was home. We literally had just moved into our house, this house, 2 days before. Derek had built it, like himself, he's a builder, he built it and it just been finished. We moved in 2 days before, so we were still moving stuff around. We decided to go to the shopping centre that night just to get some more, sorry I'm talking really fast, I've got to slow down, I get really excited. Some more house supplies and just stuff that we needed, because obviously we'd both come from 2 separate houses and needed to build a house together. So we were going to go to the shopping centre. It was about almost 8 o'clock while we were driving in. We literally parked up and we were like, we can't really be bothered. It's Friday night. I was like 40 weeks pregnant. I was like, I can't be bothered shopping. Let's just go watch a movie. So we went and we watched a movie. We were halfway through that and I could start feeling like gas pains, is the only way I can describe it. Is I felt like I had gas, and I honestly just thought I had gas, because there is no secret, when you're pregnant you are gassy. So I thought it was just gas pains. It was kind of like sharp, but like mild, dull, like not really anything painful. So I was like, I gotta go to the bathroom. And when we left the movies, it was maybe 9:30ish. Yeah, good memories for you, is it? It was at 9:30ish when we left. By the time we got home, it was 10 o'clock, and these pains were like, I say pains, they weren't painful, it was just uncomfortable, sharp pains. So I tried to go to the bathroom and nothing was happening. I was sort of like, maybe they're Braxton Hicks, because I heard when you're in labour the contractions are meant to feel like period cramps, and that's just not what it was feeling like to me. So I ended up calling Derek's mum and going, hey, do you want to come sit with me? Hello. Ooh. Sorry, he got hungry and I have to feed him. Basically, we called Derek's mum and was like, hey, what should we do? Should we go in? Or like, you know, should we call them? What should we do? And she basically said, yeah, maybe just give them a call, see what they say. So that's what we did. I got in the bath because I'm like, this is not painful enough. Like, I feel like it should be more painful for me to call them. I didn't want to bug them. I didn't want to call them and it'd be nothing. It'd just be Braxton Hicks. So I was like, I don't want to call them. Derek said, look, when it gets to 12 o'clock, you have to call them. If it's still going, call them. So I was in the bath for like a good hour. It was getting pretty bad, but I was chilled. Like, I was timing my contractions. They were going for 1 minute and they were 4 minutes apart. Anyone that's had a baby or is having a baby knows when they get to 5 minutes apart is when you should be in hospital. That's what I got told. Anyway, they were 4 minutes apart. I was like, I still don't feel like this. And anyway, Derek's like, you need to call them. I called them, and as I was calling them, I was getting out of breath. I couldn't quite put my words together, and that's when I knew, okay, maybe I should go in. They said, oh, it's your first baby, labour comes on and off, and you know, it's probably going to be really long. Maybe if you come in, we'll just double check you, see how far dilated you are, give you some sleeping tablets, send you home, and you can come in the morning. And I went, yep, that sounds fair enough. So we took our hospital bag just in case anything happened, and we drove to the hospital. The hospital's about half an hour, 40 minutes away. It was almost 1 o'clock in the morning on the 9th, and at this point I was like, this is when I knew he's going to be born on the 9th, not the 8th, obviously because it was the 9th. Which I was like, typical, I knew it was going to happen. So we got to the hospital and I was getting out of the car and I had to stop and hold onto the car, and that's the first one that like really took my breath away, and I went, holy fuck, like this is painful. And I was slowly walking into the hospital, and Derek was a gem. We didn't bring the bags in because we knew we were just going to get sleeping tablets and get sent home. So we went all the way up to the 6th floor of the hospital where is the delivery suite, and they let us in, and I was, you know, with smiles and happy, like, oh, this is exciting, you know, my first baby. It was great. I didn't know what to expect. And as I was walking in, the lady, the midwife, she was in charge, and she, you know, was like, oh, come on through, we'll put you on the CTG, which is just to monitor his heartbeat and monitor my contractions, and we'll, you know, check how dilated you are, and we'll go from there. And I had to hold on. There was like a rail on the wall, and I had to hold on and go, oh my god. Actually, I was wearing this outfit when I gave birth. That's exciting. So I was holding on, and I was like, holy crap, this is painful. Jesus, this is getting a long video, sorry. I'll try and make it shorter. This is getting painful. So I, you know, jumped up on the bed and I was spewing. I just couldn't stop spewing all over myself. I kept thinking I was hungry. Like, I was like, I'm really hungry. At this point, I'd only had breakfast, cup of raspberry tea, or couple cups of raspberry tea, and some popcorn at the movies, and it was, you know, almost 2 in the morning, and I was hungry, but I just kept spewing. And I was like, look, at least if I'm spewing, I'm not gonna shit myself, which was my biggest fear going into labor. It's always been my biggest fear, is shitting myself, which I didn't. Yay, I'm so happy. Anyway, so we got hooked up, and my contractions were strong. They were really strong, and as soon as I laid down on the bed, I was back to back. I'll put in a little clip of me in labour saying some strong words, strong words, also of the monitor that was showing his heartbeat and was showing my contractions. Ow. Ah, you little if I look ugly, I'll kill you.
So you're dead.
Yeah, it really fucking hurts. So I was in and it was getting painful. They were back to back, really painful. Derek and I actually heard this lady screaming down the hall, like screaming. And the nurses go, oh, she's only had a 3, like, she's only had a 3 centimeters, like, and we looked at each other and went, like, if that's a 3, what the heck? And so the first lady checked me, and they said that I was only 3 centimeters dilated myself, and I was like, oh my god, I can't do this pain for longer, like, I can't go 7 more centimeters, this is ridiculous, I need an epidural, I need something. The second lady came in, who was the one in charge, and she's like, I'm just gonna double check, because that doesn't seem right, you look like you're in a lot more pain than just 3 centimeters. What she was actually feeling was my waters, they were bulging. She thought it was the baby's head. So she shoved her hand like right up there. It was really painful at this point, and she's like, no, you're in an 8 centimeters. My waters then broke, and in the waters were meconium. And if you don't know what meconium is, it's basically the baby not goes into distress, but it either means he's ready to come out or he is distressed, and they poo. So Noah had pooed inside of me, which was fun. I've never had that happen before. So they wanted to get him out quick because there was meconium. They just wanted to get him out quick because they don't want him ingesting any of that. Also, I was GBS, which is strep positive. I don't really know what that means to any woman at any time in her life, and if you have it when you're pregnant, it sometimes can get passed into the baby, so they just need to give you antibiotics, which ended up not working because he came out so fast. So contractions are getting really intense, and I'm looking at Derek and I'm saying, this is killing me, give me an epidural, give me something. And the lady's like, we can give you Panadol tablets, and I've gone, this beautiful, I've gone, okay, like, if that's gonna help. Didn't help. 10 minutes later, I was like, give me something else. I need an epidural. They've gone, you're way too far for an epidural. You're 8 centimeters, you can't get an epidural. So they give me the gas and air, and they say to Derek, hold it at her mouth and she can breathe it in. And I just grabbed it off him and I went, you know, really intense. And anyone that's had gas and air knows it is like you are tripping the biggest balls, like you are drunk off your face. It is really intense. I didn't really enjoy it because I didn't feel like I was there. I could still feel the pain. It just took your mind somewhere else, if that makes sense. So I didn't have that for too long, and then basically I heard, oh shit, there's his head. And I went, Derek, get down there. It was really important for me for Derek to deliver Noah. I really wanted Derek to be the first person that like touched him, that held him, that, you know, did all that sort of stuff. So Derek went down the end, Noah's head popped out, his hand went straight through, which tore me quite a nice amount. And I just got a 1st degree tear, but I got a couple of grazes, so I had to have stitches basically in the end. But Derek grabbed him and pulled him straight up onto me, and it was amazing. It was like just this beautiful creature. It was all mine, and my baby, after months and months of feeling him and knowing he's there, to actually having him on you. And he was so small and slimy, and he only cried for 1 minute maybe, and then he just laid there and he attached straight away to my boob. He latched on really fast. Yeah, it was amazing. And then it was just quiet. There was, you know, no one there, and it was just, wow, it was amazing. I mean, I had to have stitches, I had to have a catheter there, so that helped me pee. I had obviously the antibiotic drip in my hand, and then having a shower with blood on you. I lost about 500 mils of blood, which it sounds like a lot, but I don't really think it is. And it was amazing. Like, it was honestly so good, and I ended up with this gorgeous boy. Gorgeous Chubba Bubba. How cute. And so Noah Hawk was born at 2:17 a.m. on the 9th of July. He was 3.2 kilos, which is exactly 7 pounds. He was 51 centimeters long, and his head was only 33 centimeters wide, which was amazing because he didn't have time to cone up, to get, like, you know, one of those cone heads where it comes through, so it was completely round, which was great. I felt like he was gonna come out of my butt, that's how much pressure is pushed down there. Contractions were a lot worse than actually him coming out. That wasn't too bad, to be honest. What I can remember, you sort of blank lots of it out, but the contractions were definitely the worst part. All in all, I had 3 hours of labour, which was just like the contractions and everything. Then I had 7 minutes of active labour, which is stage 2, which is basically him coming out. So I had 2 big pushes, 7 minutes of pushing, and he came out, and then 9 minutes for my placenta to come out, which was longer than actually birthing my child, which is amazing. Once he wanted to come out, he wanted to come out. And yeah, now he's here. Now he's 3 months old and he is 5.5 kilos, which isn't actually that big, but he has big chubby cheeks, which make him look nice and fat and plump. So I think my next video, what I'll do is I'll tell you about how I found out I was pregnant, and my pregnancy journey, and then maybe after that do sort of a 3-month, I would say update, but it's not really updating on anything, just a 3-month video of my little boy and what he can do, and all the exciting things like that. So thank you for watching. We will see you in our next video. Bye! Maybe use another clamp. He's so quiet.
Stop from there.
Yeah.